m'appelle Soleil, je m'appelle Soleil, je m'appelle Soleil.
Hey everyone, my name is Soleil and I am a singer, a songwriter, an entertainer, a producer, and a vocal producer. And I am here to share 5 things that I wish I knew before I started on my journey as an artist. So the first thing is be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a beautiful thing, and within vulnerability, there is, you have to be open. There's some fear that lives there, and that's something that really inhibited me for a long time. I didn't release music for a long time because I was like, oh no, what if people don't like it? How are people gonna think? And blah, 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 blah. I was trying to be a people pleaser, and I'm not that person anymore, I grew out of that, thankfully. I mean, it took some time, but everyone's journey is different. Also, being vulnerable allows people to just relate to you and to connect with you and to build that artist fan or just human to human connection, which is super important. Being vulnerable, along my path has prevented me from reaching out to booking agents or to other people to ask if I could be featured or if I could do a show and things like that. And I've learned from that, right? Because what could happen? You get rejected? They say no. That's the worst thing that's gonna happen is they say no. And I've learned that you get 1,000 no's before you get a yes. So be vulnerable, be open, share yourself, share your art, especially your hard times. People can really relate with that. Life is not all positive. We go through things as human beings, so share that with others and allow them to connect with you on that level. 2, focus on presence and progress, not perfection. Man, I am so glad that I've instilled this in myself because I'm very much a perfectionist, right? And in some cases, it can be a good thing, but in other cases, it really just blocks your blessings because you're afraid, you're meaning me, I was afraid of putting out music, putting out content because it wasn't perfect, right? I didn't have the perfect vocal, I didn't have the perfect production, I didn't have the perfect this and the perfect that. And what did that do? It just delayed me, right? Like my own fear, it made me procrastinate because I wasn't perfect. But guess what? Nobody's perfect, right? You have to put it out and just let it be. And that's how you get better. So I really learned to just be present and focus on progress rather than perfection. And I've been able to, apply that to my life. 3, get out of your comfort zone. I'm sure you've heard the saying that comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there, right? So if you are too comfortable all the time, you become complacent. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable with doing things that you fear, facing your shadows, taking risks. For me, it's been saying yes to things that maybe I wouldn't have said yes to in the past. Learning from those situations, meeting people who have done that, being more entrepreneurial. It's all of these things, right? So just make sure you're doing that and getting out of your comfort zone because it's the only way that you can grow as 1, an artist, and 2, a human being. 4, have a marketing strategy. This one hurt me. I didn't have a marketing strategy for my first EP that I released called Dawn, and that was released in January 2020. I put 2.5 years of work into this, built a team, with my co-writer and my mentor and things like that. And we had a great body of work. I mean, it's still there. It's out in the ether. It's on all streaming platforms, but we didn't have any marketing plan, any strategy, any release plan around it, right? It was just like, get it out there. And it's kind of just sitting there now, and it didn't do as well as we hoped it would. And it's our own fault, So, it did well for not really having any, promotion or marketing plan, but it could have done a lot better. It's not time wasted or money wasted because it's still a great product and it's out there, right, in the universe. But I learned to have a marketing plan, at least 3 months. What am I going to do to keep the song alive? I have to be pushing it, digitally. I have to be performing. I have to be doing all of these things, making content around my song to keep it alive. Otherwise, it just kind of sits, it gets out there, it's popular for a few weeks, a month, maybe longer than that if you're lucky, and it's kind of just there. People forget about it because music just keeps coming out. So make sure you have a marketing plan so you can keep your music alive and get people to listen to it. And number 5, the last one. So focus on building relationships. The relationships you have with people are so important, right? They say it's not what you know, it's who you know. I think it's both, but who you know is really important, and the relationships you build is really important. So luckily I have a mentor / an advisor. And because of that reason, I've never signed a bad contract. I've seen a bad contract, I've been sent a bad contract, and I've never signed one, right? So for example, I got a contract saying, okay, we'll mix and master the song, but then we're gonna own the masters. I said, no, like, no way that's happening. So luckily I've never signed a bad contract because I have people who can help me with that. So invest in your mentors if you don't have those relationships. Communication is key. Build rapport, right? Get to know people, network. There's another saying that, every minnow has a whale. And basically it means that you know person X, but you don't know who person X knows, who might be the next person that you need to meet along your journey to find your success. So make sure you have good relationships with people, you're focusing on that communication, and it will take you very far. So those are 5 things that I wish I knew when I was starting in my artist journey, and I hope that it helps you and that you can learn from it and apply it to your own journey. Thanks, guys.